welcome back to the Royal Daily Tea. Hope everyone had a lovely last couple of days. It is definitely cold winter here in Texas, lots of rain. We're not getting any snow, but lots of sleet. And I did get to run my fireplace for the very first time this year, so I was very excited about that. Now, I do apologize if my voice is a little strained. I am starting to get seasonal allergies, so hopefully I won't sound too bad in this video. But we have a lot of juicy royal tea to get through, so sit back and relax, grab yourself a beverage, and let's get into the Royal Daily Tea. So today is the 74th birthday for King Charles, his very first birthday since he became king, and they have released a brand new photograph of His Majesty the King looking quite dapper. Now, the new photograph shows him in his new role as the Ranger of Windsor Great Park. This was a role that was previously held by his father, Prince Philip. This photograph was taken by an oak tree in the park sometime last week. So happy birthday to His Majesty King Charles. Now, the royal family had a lot of events this weekend in honor of Remembrance Sunday. On Saturday night, the royal family attended the Royal British Legion Festival of Remembrance. This was held at the Royal Albert Hall in London. This is where they paid tribute to the soldiers and celebrated the 40th anniversary of the Falkland Wars. They also had a very special tribute to Her Majesty the Queen and her 70 years of service and dedication that she gave during her reign, including as the Royal British Legion's patron and the longest-serving commander-in-chief of the British Armed Forces. The royal family attended Remembrance Sunday, where His Majesty the King laid a brand new wreath this year that was dedicated to his grandfather, King George VI, and his mother, Queen Elizabeth. The wreath's poppies were mounted on an arrangement of black leaves, as is traditional for the monarch, and featured the king's racing colors, scarlet, purple, and gold. The racing colors were also incorporated into the wreaths of King George V, King George VI, and Queen Elizabeth II. The wreath was accompanied by a handwritten card bearing his new royal cipher, which they had revealed in September. Now, this year was the very first time that Queen Consort Camilla had a wreath laid down in her honor as well. They also featured her grandfather's racing colors and her brand new official royal cipher. So you guys, you just can't make it up. The Rogue One himself, Prince Harry, showed up solo at Pearl Harbor wearing a casual blue suit and a poppy on his lapel, because anyone who is casually attending something shows up in a blue suit with a poppy on his lapel. I mean, compared to every single person who was dressed in jeans and t-shirts, he literally looked like he was showing up at a royal event, but apparently it was taken by a royal fan. This was not a PR stunt, you guys. This was just a coinkydink that someone happened to take his photograph at this war memorial in Honolulu, right? But he's just wearing a suit. Okay. Again, it's a little bizarre. Now, I understand, Harry, that you were in the military, that it means a lot to you, yada, yada, yada. But this is getting to be a little bit overboard. Every year, it's like he has to do some kind of stunt on Remembrance Sunday. It's like he didn't get the memo. You're not a working royal. You're in America, son. You don't have to go out and do something on this day. But it's like he hasn't quite let go of that royal mentality. He still thinks he's the working royal representing the family. So remember back in 2020 where Meghan and Harry did that stunt where they took photographs of them at that cemetery that they just happened to be walking around fully dressed in like a ball gown and like a suit. Then last year they attended that event where she wore that ridiculous red dress with the cinnamon buns on her boobs, where they sang God Save the Queen and we're in America. Remember that? And now this year, he's just going alone by himself to a war memorial for Pearl Harbor in Hawaii, but he's still wearing a suit and a poppy, okay? It's like, when is he going to get the message? You're not a royal. I don't understand it. So now they're trying to convince us that this was just taken by a royal fan, y'all. This was just happenstance. And someone just happened to snap his photograph because he's just so, it just means so much to him. Just like when Meghan went to Uvalde, because she cares, y'all. She cares so much. And there just happened to be 1,000,001 photographers there. But, whatever. She was just there from the goodness of her heart. Like, we're buying this story again. It's like PR without being PR. It's like their new tactic. So we don't have backgrid, right? Because I think they know now we know backgrid. So they're doing it where some royal fans spotted him and shared photographs of the royal visit on Twitter. So then everyone just runs with this story. But again, he's wearing a suit. He looked like he was on official duty. I don't know if he's there for any other reason, but it looks very suspicious. Most people just put up something on their socials, right, on the website, which was fine. He already did that. Him and Meghan had this huge photograph on the Arch Royal Foundation website. They paid homage to the veterans. But no, he has to fly out to Pearl Harbor and walk around in a suit and make sure he's photographed. It's getting bizarre. This is reminding me kind of like of the Duke and Duchess of Windsor, the two ex-royals who didn't get the memo they're not royals anymore, couldn't quite let it go, where Edward had his little red box with his little cipher on it and his little letters, that he was still holding on to mementos of when he was king, like Meghan and her royal cipher and her letterhead and their titles. It's like you're not on official royal duty. You don't need to go lay a wreath on Remembrance Sunday. You're in America and you're not representing anyone but yourself. I mean, it's a nice gesture, but again, it's like Harry doesn't know how to not be a royal. It's like he doesn't know how to conduct himself, and he still has a mindset of, I'm a royal prince. I'm the Duke of Sussex, and I live in California. I'm going to wear a suit and a tie and show up at a memorial and talk to the normal folk and shake hands and kiss babies, because that's what I do, y'all. But I'm a free man. It's my free time. But I'm still going to act like I'm a royal doing royal duties. Make sure you put that photograph on social media and tag me in it. It's bizarre. Okay? I don't know. I just find it a little suspicious. And somebody mentioned he was wearing his high heels, his little lifts around his shoes to get a little bit more height. Look, I'm not trying to be mean or bag on him. I'm sure he just went there out of the goodness of his heart. But I think it's suspicious. Sorry, I'm just going to call it. That's my opinion. So apparently Prince Charles is pushing to expand the list of the counselors of state. He wants to add Princess Anne and Prince Edward to now deputize for the monarch if he is absent or ill and not able to perform his official duties. So he's not removing anyone, he's simply adding. They said the king had a message to indicate the change to Counselor of State rules read in the House of Lords. So I think this is something that definitely could pass. Now, a lot of people are like, well, why doesn't he just remove Harry? Why doesn't he just remove Andrew? Because in the world of the royals, they have to move and work a little bit differently than the rest of us. I like to call it royal read between the lines. They don't do royal removals, they do royal read between the lines. When I say we speak Meghanese, we have to speak royalnese. So by adding 2 more people, they are basically ensuring that the likelihood of Andrew and Prince Harry getting keys to the castle is never going to happen. That is called royal read between the lines. It ain't happening, son. Not on my watch. Period. But they will never remove them. They will simply make it to where it is statistically impossible, like 1 to 1,000,000 chance that it will ever come down to these two buffoons ever doing anything, to represent the country or the crown ever again. But they won't remove them entirely because that would be, I guess, too barbaric, too final. Now, I'm not saying it will never happen, but in the world of royals, it's 80% of communication is non-verbal, and they speak volumes. You just got to pay attention. You got to read between the lines. You got to speak royalese. Just like on the royal family website where they talked about the working royals, they put Andrew and Harry at the very bottom of the page with Megsy. They didn't remove them, but everyone knows what they meant, right? You could see it. They're at the bottom of the page, meaning they're not relevant. We're not removing them, which I personally think they should have because it was for working royals. But instead, they put them at the bottom of the page, meaning read between the lines. It ain't happening. They're not ever going to work for the royal family again, but we're still going to keep them on the very, 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 very bottom of the page, basically telling everyone where they stand. They're handling this the same way that they're handling the titles with Archie and Lilibet. They're not discussing it. It's not given, but there's no affirmative yes or no. It is simply just not happening. Now, personally, I am a little miffed at King Charles for not giving Prince Edward and Sophie the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh title. They definitely deserve those titles, and those should have been appointed immediately, in my opinion. Charles, don't be bogarting those titles. I really hope that Prince Edward and Sophie get to be the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh very soon. Maybe it will happen after the coronation. I'm not sure why he hasn't given it to them yet because Prince Philip made it very clear that he wanted Prince Edward to get that title. So I'm hoping in due course they will be awarded that title because they definitely deserve it. But when it comes to the royal rogues and Montecito, less is more. The less he says, the better, because whatever they do, it backfires and it goes against the narrative of, oh, you're racist, you're mean, you're evil. So for them to make swift cuts and movements against Harry and Meghan, it will backfire. So by him adding counselors of state and pushing him further down, by them pushing them further down on the website, and by them just not mentioning the titles, then that's a really good diplomatic way of saying, read between the lines. We're not going to come out and say it, but you can see it. So that is what the royal family is doing, and honestly, I think it is a great master plan. So apparently, Harry and Meghan are getting yet another award, just like they were on the kindness list for Hello Magazine. Sorry. They're now getting another award where rich elite people can pay up to $1 million to sit at their table. Again, why? But apparently it is this huge philanthropic award given by Kerry Kennedy. It is the Ripple Hope Award, and they're going to be awarded on December 6th. This huge award. It's like, at this point, it's getting embarrassing. It's embarrassing. It's like Harry and Meghan accept awards for nothing, while the real royals give awards to actual people who deserve it. That is the difference between a real royal and a self-serving ex-royal. The ex-royals are all about themselves. Give me accolades, give me awards, give me praise, pay me for my time, pay me to show up and kiss babies and wave. But the real royals are out there doing charitable work, and they put the highlight on the people they serve. They don't look to get awards. But Meghan and Harry, they're all about lining their bookshelves with these fake, useless bought awards. It's like a 10-year-old boy last year raised more money in 30 days living in a tent in his backyard than Archwell Foundation gave to charity in an entire year. Why don't we give him an award? So apparently there's a lot of people kind of scratching their heads, speaking out, a little appalled as to why Harry and Meghan are getting this huge award for basically doing nothing. I mean, let's be honest, Harry and Meghan don't really donate any money. Harry and Meghan don't really donate their own money or basically any money to any real charities. They kind of do the Amber Heard of charity. I owe you, we owe you, we're going to pledge that we're going to donate all this money, and if the stars align, you might get a check. But we'll have to get back to you. But we're going to pledge. I owe you. Get back to us. But make sure you put on your website that we gave you money. It's like they're the Amber Heard of charity. It's embarrassing, okay? So people are beginning to speak out. You guys, Alec Baldwin is the MC for this event. That should tell you, yeah, this is embarrassing. So apparently the Earthshot Prize for Catherine and William is also in December. But the thing is that is an invite-only event. Harry and Meghan, those people can just buy their way in. Two totally different events. And we all know who's who is vying to be on the guest list for the Earthshot Prize. I guarantee that is going to be the elite who's who compared to Meghan and Harry's little Ripple Award ceremony where people are buying their way into this event. It's kind of slimy, if you ask me. Now, a lot of people were wondering, how did Harry and Meghan get nominated for this award? Well, apparently the director of their docu-series is friends or is a business partner with one of the Kennedys. Yeah, she knows one of the Kennedys, so that is how they're getting this award, you guys. It is through the director of their docu-series who's buddy and business partners with one of the Kennedy siblings. That is how Harry and Meghan probably got nominated, you guys. Again, they're always buying their way into something. It's never authentic. It's never real. It's never because they do anything. It's either bought by their PR firm or they're getting in a back door through a friend of a friend. But again, Harry and Meghan are like the Duke and Duchess of fake awards. It's like when you give kids an award for just showing up at an event. Harry and Meghan are literally becoming those people. It's embarrassing. Like, I have secondhand embarrassment for them. I'm sorry, but I would work really hard to get on the guest list for William and Catherine's event because that is invite only, and you could definitely tell there's going to be a major difference in the class of people who attend these events. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. What do you guys think of Harry showing up at the Pearl Harbor event? And what do you think about Harry and Meghan getting another award? Please leave me your comments, guys, down below. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you. Please be sure to check out my other YouTube channel. I will be posting a crown update on that channel. As always, I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.